Going into every NFL season, there's a lot of hype and high expectations around a lot of NFL teams. And every year, there are teams and players who don't quite live up to those expectations and disappoint their fans. So today, we're going to check out some of the most disappointing NFL teams of the 2022 season. Number 5 is the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts were 9-8 last season, led by running back Jonathan Taylor, who ran for 1,653 yards, along with 18 touchdowns. Many people thought that if the Colts got a quarterback, they'd be a Super Bowl contender. So before this season, they went and signed Matt Ryan. But becoming a Super Bowl contender and a playoff team hasn't quite happened this season. A big part of that has been injuries, with two of their best players, Jonathan Taylor, only playing 11 games, and linebacker Darius Leonard only playing 3 games. Another problem is quarterback play, since the Matt Ryan signing hasn't gone well, with him throwing 14 touchdowns along with 13 interceptions and having 15 fumbles. All this has led to the Colts having a 4-12-1 record and being quite the opposite of what many fans expected this season. Number 4 is the Tennessee Titans. The Titans had made the playoffs the last 3 seasons, and many fans thought they'd do the same this year. They started the season off 7-3, but after that, they finished the season on a 7-game losing streak, finishing 7-10. Some of the main reasons for this could be because of quarterback Ryan Tannehill only playing 12 games, or because they traded wide receiver A.J. Brown to the Eagles, who was obviously their best receiver. But either way, finishing the season on a 7-game losing streak is just terrible, and many people think they should try to trade for a quarterback this offseason, maybe Aaron Rodgers. The third team that came into the year with high expectations is the Las Vegas Raiders, but it didn't take long for fans to realize that wasn't going to happen, because the Raiders started the season off with a 1-4 record, and although they eventually started winning some games, they ended up missing the playoffs and finishing with a record of 6-11. Some people believe the reasons for their struggles is because of their new coach Josh McDaniels, who many people believe should be fired after just 1 season. Some of their top offensive players also missed some games due to injury, like Renfro only playing 10 games and Waller only playing 9 games. Towards the end of the disappointing season, the Raiders decided to bench their starting quarterback Derek Carr. So it's obvious that they're going to make some changes after this disappointing year. The second most disappointing team this year was the Denver Broncos, who many people thought had a chance of going to the Super Bowl after signing quarterback Russell Wilson, but they haven't been as good as planned either. One of the biggest reasons has actually been because of Russell Wilson and the offense, because although they had one of the best defenses in the league, the offense only averaged 16 points per game, which was the worst in the whole NFL, and quarterback Russell Wilson threw 16 touchdowns and 11 interceptions. They also most recently fired their coach Nathaniel Hackett after only 1 year, so they're expecting a different outcome next season. Number 1 is probably the most unexpected at the start of the season. The Los Angeles Rams won the Super Bowl last season and came into the season trying to go back-to-back, but this season has been awful. They ended the season 5-12, which is the NFL record for most losses by a defending Super Bowl champion. That's the type of history you don't want to make. The reason for their downfall is a little more obvious though, since injuries have hurt their team, with Matthew Stafford only playing 9 games and star receiver Cooper Kupp only playing 9 games this season, and Aaron Donald only played 11 games. But another big difference from last season is that they lost some of their players like Von Miller and Andrew Whitworth and Odell Beckham, who were all important pieces on last year's team. After seeing some of the most disappointing NFL teams of the season, comment which team you think was the biggest disappointment.